Have you ever wondered why some AI ads flop instantly? Well, after analyzing over 50 of them, I realized it's not because of the video quality, but because of the background music. So today, I'm going to show you how I created this headphone ad completely from scratch using only Higgsfield and Suno AI in just 12 minutes. So the ad I'm gonna make is for these Pulse headphones. And first, I'll start with the audio part because it's way easier to create and trim the video once you know how the soundtrack sounds. So for that, I'm gonna head over to Suno AI. But if you don't have an account yet, I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can sign up. Once you're inside, you press on Create from the left side panel, and this is the interface we get. On the right side, you have your workspace with all your past creations, and on the left, you have the actual tool for making the song. We'll select the simple mode, and for the prompt, I'll write this. But because we're not making an actual song, we don't need to add any lyrics to it. And on top of that, we select this function that says instrumental, which makes sure Suno doesn't add any voices to it. Once we do that, let's press create and see what it gives us. As you can see, Suno generates 4 different options for us to listen to. 2 of them are made with the V4.5 model. These are great if you want longer tracks, since they can run for over 2 minutes. We also get 2 versions from the V5.5 model. This is one of Suno's most powerful models, so the audio quality is usually higher, although the tracks tend to be shorter and often come in under a minute. Let's listen to the first one. It's exactly the kind of background music you'd hear in a lifestyle ad, where everything feels positive and aspirational, so it's a great fit for our headphones. In my ad, the character puts the headphones on while commuting through the city, and this first track is already playing during that sequence. Now let's create the second track for the second half of the ad. The moment she presses the button on the ear cup is when the soundtrack switches to a different style of music. So just like before, I'll replace the prompt with this one and press create. Once the second track has finished generating, let's take a listen. Wow, this is finally something I would actually listen to on my own headphones. You can feel it's way more energetic. It's got that electronic vibe to it, so I bet it's going to sound amazing in our finished ad. So that's both tracks done and locked in. The next thing is obviously to create the videos, but before that, there's one element we absolutely can't skip, and that's making the actual character for the scene. And for that, as well as every other visual in this ad, I'm going to be using Higgsfield, which has all the AI tools I need. So again, if you don't have an account, I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can sign up to it. Now let's get inside and create my character. For this, I'll go to the image section from the toolbar and press on create image. Here, the first thing I'll do is make sure the GPT image tool is selected as the model, and I'll paste in this prompt, which will create a character sheet. Now, if you're wondering why it says image 1 inside the prompt, it's because that's the reference image the AI is going to look at when it generates. So to add it, let's press on this plus button and I'll upload this image of myself. Now for the quality, I'll go with high, I'll set the resolution to 4K, and I'll make sure the aspect ratio is 16:9, so we get this nice wide character sheet. Once we've done that, let's press generate and wait for Higgsfield to create it. And here it is. It obviously kept all the details from my face, but as you can see, it put a new outfit on my character just like I asked for. So now that we have this character sheet in place, we can use it for the next generations to keep my character consistent from start to finish. However, before we get into the actual video generation, we also need to create a reference image of the product. That way, when we make the Seedance 2.0 scene, it won't just generate a random pair of headphones. And this step is pretty straightforward. We stay in the same place inside Higgsfield, and after we remove the previous reference image of myself, I'll simply change the prompt to this one and leave the rest of the settings the same. I'll generate it and let's take a look. Honestly, it's really clean. I like how it looks. It's got the word pulse on the side, so the text is on point. But what I really like is that silver rose gold color on the sides. It actually looks like real metal. So let's save this one. So now we've got both the character sheet and the product saved as reference images, which means we can finally move on to the most important part of the whole ad, and that's creating the scenes. Now here's the thing. We can either use the 2 generated images as references and let the video model decide how the whole environment looks, or we can get full control by creating a starting frame first. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Right Right here in the image section, I'll upload both image references from earlier, and I'll give it this prompt. Let's hit generate, and as you can see, now we have a starting frame with both my character holding the headphones in her hand and the exact location I want to start in. So let's take that and move over to the video section inside Higgsfield. For the first scene, I want my character to start out walking through that old town, then put her headphones on and start playing the music. So for this, I'll first make sure to select Seedance 2.0 as the video model, since it's currently the best one out there. Then, to add all the references, I'll click on Upload Media, and here you can see everything we created earlier. So let's press check eligibility, and once that's done, let's move on to the prompt section. Now, just like I said earlier, I want multiple things to happen here, and I could throw it all into one prompt and just hope Seedance understands it. I'm pretty sure it would get about 80% of what I wanted, but to get full control over the outcome, I'm going to use a simple strategy where you break the scene down into multiple shots. So here's the prompt I'm going to be using, and as you can see, I've got 3 different shots inside it. So now let's modify the settings. It's going to be a 15-second video at 1080p resolution, and for the aspect ratio, I'll leave it at 16:9 while also turning the audio on. Now let's press generate. She moves really smooth, and the whole video has this premium feel to it, especially with the smooth transitions between the shots. Just think how amazing this is going to look once we put that soundtrack we made earlier in Suno on top of it. But before we can do that, we need to generate a few more scenes, so let's go ahead and do exactly that. The second one is going to be a shot where my character listens to the headphones inside the bus, so we can show people all the different use cases these headphones have. So for this, I'm going to use the same process as before. I'll go back to the image section inside Higgsfield, select GPT Image 2 as the model, and paste in the image references with my character sheet and the headphones. For the prompt, I'll paste this, and I get this starting frame, which in my opinion looks really realistic. You can even see the reflection of my face in the bus window, which is something older models wouldn't do. So let's take it and put it as a reference inside the video generation section, along with the character sheet and the headphones. This time, I'll use this prompt that has 4 shots inside it. For the duration, I'll go with 12 seconds, because I want this one a bit more fast-paced, and I'll keep the same resolution and aspect ratio and create it. Just like we expected, it followed our prompt. But what I really like is that when my character moves, the reflection on the window moves with her. I know it's a small detail, but honestly, that's what makes the difference between AI slop and an AI generation that actually makes sales. And for the next scene, I'm going to do something a little different, because I don't want to build a whole new starting frame for it. For this third scene, the location stays exactly the same. She's still sitting on the bus. Instead of creating another starting frame for the bus, I'll simply use the previous video as a reference. So let me show you how that works. First, we upload our reference images, and for the video, I'll go to the video section. Find the one we created earlier and simply add it. Now what happens is the AI will analyze the entire previous scene, including all the visuals, the mood, and the lighting, and carry that into the new scene. But I want this one to be faster, since it's just the transition, so I'll go with 8 seconds, while leaving the resolution and aspect ratio at 1080p and 16:9. And for the prompt, I'll paste in this one. And here's what it made for me.
Next stop is Bath Spa University.
Everything looks like a natural day in her life, using the headphones to get around, which is honestly one of the best use cases for them. And at the end, we get that nice zoom in on the headphones, and she presses a button, which is what's going to change the music in the next scene. So to make it look like a real ad, we need a smooth transition between that and the presentation of the product. So first, let's go back to the image section, and with the GPT image tool, I'll upload the headphones image as a reference. I'll set the quality to high again and the resolution to 4K. Now, I want to create a simple ad photo with our headphones, so here's the prompt I'll use. Now that we have it, you can see it kept that same minimalist look, and it added the title underneath with the tagline, "Feel every beat," which means it's ready to go inside the final scene. So now that we're back in the video generation section, I'll upload the previous video so it picks up right where it ended, and for the reference images, I'll add my character sheet, the headphones, and the end card we generated a few seconds ago. What I want to create is a scene that plays for a few seconds with the new song going in the headphones, then a small transition into the end card that shows the headphones full screen. So I'll set it to 11 seconds, and for the prompt, I'll paste this in. Now let's see how well Seedance can do that for us. Honestly, I have to say that transition came out really creative. She goes under a bridge, the lighting drops, and suddenly the headphones are right there in front of us. So now let's take everything we created and move over to the assembly part. I'll go inside CapCut, even though this can be any editing software, and load all the scenes onto the timeline. Then I'll take the songs we generated with Suno AI and put them underneath on their own track. Now here comes the tricky part. I'll put the first soundtrack under the scene when she wears the headphone, and the second one starts when she presses the button. So we need to play the video and listen really carefully, so we know exactly when to stop the first soundtrack and bring in the next one. So let's do that, and here's exactly where I need to cut it. So I'll do exactly that. Then I'll export it and just take a look. Everything feels natural and realistic, and honestly, if I ran this as a real ad right now, I'm pretty sure it would pull a lot of sales in the first few hours. And the only reason all of this came together this fast is Higgsfield and Suno AI. Every single visual was made inside Higgsfield and both soundtracks inside Suno, all from the links right below. So if you want to make ads that look amazing and sound just as good, go sign up to Higgsfield and Suno AI with my links in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.